The Orchard Lake Police Department is partnering with the DEA for a drug take-back program. Very important, very on topic with what we have been talking about. I am not the expert here, which is why I am currently being joined by the Chief of Police for the Orchard Lake Police Department, Chief Jeffrey Gomez. Thank you so much for joining us, Chief.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, sir. So what we have is a very important situation to discuss. This Takeback program. Can you talk about what inspired the Orchard Lake Police Department to participate in this DEA national program?
Well, it's a great program. We've actually been participating in take back events for years. Actually, our first one that I was involved in was several years ago when the Walgreens was in Orchard Lake at Orchard Lake and Pontiac Trail. We partnered with them and we held an event in their parking lot to take drugs back. And like I said, it's a very important program because it prevents medications from the improper disposal. So it doesn't end up in the water system, in landfills, in dumpsters, things like that, or in the hands of children or people that shouldn't have any unused medication. So
Right.
again, it's a very important program.
Right. And it's very important. It's another opportunity. I'm glad we've been seeing more events like this around in the community where people can properly dispose of their hazardous waste, unused prescriptions, whether they're over the counter or prescribed from an actual doctor also. Even though I feel like I know the answer to this question, it's important to get this from the Chief of Police perspective. How does this initiative contribute to community safety and well-being, Chief?
Well, again, the goal of this is to keep medications out of the hands of children or people that are not prescribed this medication. As many are aware that we have a nationwide or even a global opioid crisis going on. And if we can prevent just one person from going down that path, then I find it to be a successful program.
Right, absolutely. And it's part of what you do on your everyday job to keep the community safe, and we highly encourage that. One thing that I found out about this program, I'm not sure, I believe we talked about this briefly. This is a national program. The DEA is a national agency, but
Yes.
we're doing this in partnership with them specifically here in our local area. Can you talk about why and how Orchard Lake Police Department chose to partner with this national agency?
Well, because on a local level, that's how you get more participation. We want to be convenient here in the area, not only serving just residents of Orchard Lake, but we would take medications from the surrounding areas, greater West Bloomfield area,
Right.
anybody that wanted to stop by.
Hmm.
And I also wanted to point out that we have a drop box in our lobby that's available during business hours anytime. So not just during this event, anytime
That's
during the
good to
year,
know.
we can accept medications.
That's definitely good to know. It's not just this one-time event, Saturday, April 27, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., but they are available to drop them off at the Orchard Lake Police Station. Also, joining us right now to talk about the DEA Drug Takeback Program in partnership with the Orchard Lake Police Department, Chief of Police Jeffrey Gomez, talking about different things that why this is important, I should say, in their partnership and why they partner with this national program. What advice do you have for residents who are unsure about what medications they can or cannot dispose of with this event?
So one thing with this event, we cannot accept liquids, needles, sharps of anything of that kind. So we cannot turn those types of medications in, but we can find another alternative for safe disposal. But during this program, we cannot accept those liquids or sharps.
Okay. So that brings up an interesting point. I feel like with that kind of would be a challenge in a way. But besides that, are there any challenges or logistical considerations in organizing and hosting events like this, and in a situation where you do have someone who does have those needles and those liquids? What do you do with that?
Well, like I said, we would be willing to assist with finding an alternative to safely disposing. We just wouldn't turn it into the DEA.
Right.
And logistically, I'm going to have an officer come in that would normally be working just to man the desk to be available for this event. But other than that, like I said, we'll accept whatever we can. And again, you don't have to be an Orchard Lake resident, and there's no questions asked. You don't have to identify yourself. You can just come bring us the medications. One thing that we've seen in the past, it would be good to remove any personal information off of your medication bottles or containers, just so we would try and remove that also, but you don't want your information getting compromised, right? So
Right.
a good tip would be to remove the labels before coming out, just so your name and medical information is not out there.
Good point. Good point, Chief. We were recently discussing and going over just recent town hall events going on in this area about the fentanyl crisis specifically, as well as the opioid crisis. How do you feel like events like this are very, very important, especially during times of crisis like that? Do you have any success stories that you can give any examples of, or just anything in general?
Uh, just in general, I think public awareness is key to get the message out there that fentanyl is finding its way into more and more products, or people selling drugs that they, maybe marketing as Xanax, or hey, not, illicitly on the street, this is Xanax. Well, it could be cut with fentanyl, and it could be a fatal dose. You
Correct.
never know what you're getting. That's why it's important to only ingest medications that are prescribed by a doctor and obtained from a legitimate pharmacy. Like I said, public awareness is key, and more people having access to Narcan, I feel, is important to be
Mm-hmm.
able to reverse the effects
Mm-hmm.
if somebody did ingest a high level of an opioid or fentanyl.
Right. No, 100% agree, and which is why we talked about the importance of knowing about the resources that are available, not only knowing about them and where they are, but how to properly use them in the case that you may have to actually do that. So thank you for that information. Saturday, April 27th, 10 a.m., 2 p.m. at the Orchard Lake Police Department, the DEA Drug Takeback Program. Any last words for the community before we part, Chief?
That's all. Thank you for having me, and I hope to see everyone out on that Saturday, April 27th, 10 to 2.
Absolutely. Chief of Police for the Orchard Lake Police Department, Jeffrey Gomez, joining us talking about the DEA Drug Takeback Program they are participating in this month. Thank you again for your time, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.